Breakfast, Monday mornings on CNA.
They treat me like a snake.
तो एक के चलती हजारों आदमी भूखे मर जाते हैं।
मैं तो सोचता था कि मैं कहीं मम्मी को मैं बहुत बोलता रहा, मम्मी मुझे कुछ अच्छा पॉइजन दे दो कि मैं मर जाऊं।
Oh my God, they've been blasting the wrecks.
A brand new season of Undercover Asia. This is Asia Now.
It's 12 p.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 9:30 New Delhi, and 11 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Loke Wei Sue at this hour. Indian officials race to ramp up supply of a drug used to treat black fungus as cases near 9,000. The president of Belarus accused of state terrorism after reports that he issued an order forcing a plane to land in order to arrest an opposition journalist who was on board that plane. And no end to post-coup violence in Myanmar. Security forces kill at least 4 this morning as resistance fighters step up their own campaign against the military government. News just in, India's COVID-19 death toll has crossed the 300,000 mark as the country continues to grapple with the second wave of the pandemic. It has taken India less than a month to record its last 100,000 deaths. Over the past 24 hours, India recorded more than 4,400 deaths. The country also reported more than 222,000 new cases over the past 24 hours. India's total caseload is more than 26 million, second only to the United States. A deadly second wave in recent weeks has overwhelmed the healthcare system. Hospitals have been struggling to cope with the influx of patients and with critical drugs and oxygen running out. And complicating India's coronavirus fight is the rise in black fungus cases. Health Ministry officials say they are increasing the supply of a drug used to treat mucormycosis or black fungus. India has reported nearly 9,000 cases of black fungus. More than 200 people have died.
हमारे सामने एक चैलेंज के रूप में आया है कि हम कैसे ब्लैक फंगस को मैनेज करें। उससे संबंधित एम्फोटेरिसिन बी, जो कि एक एंटी फंगल ड्रग है, जो देश में लिमिटेड सप्लाई में शुरू में अवेलेबल थी, उसको बढ़ाया जा रहा है, जिसके लिए 2 तरीके से एफर्ट किए जा रहे हैं कि कैसे हम सप्लाई को बढ़ाएं और कैसे उसकी अवेलेबिलिटी को और फर्दर बढ़ाने के काम करें।
Amphotericin B is an antifungal intravenous injection administered every day for up to 8 weeks in patients. Each vial costs between $80 and $100, and patients are prescribed more than 1 a day. States like Maharashtra and New Delhi have been reporting a shortage of that drug. Nishan Garg has more on how severe the black fungus situation is and what some doctors are saying could be the cause of these infections.
Well, the situation is getting increasingly bad every single day in Delhi. We don't have the numbers of how many cases are being reported every single day, but the bigger hospitals are reporting at least 20 or 30 new infections on a daily basis. So that gives you an idea of how bad things are here in Delhi. And in bigger states with a larger population, especially the ones that are more badly hit by COVID-19, like the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat, the numbers of black fungus infections are even higher. Now, several doctors are attributing the cause of this infection to overuse of steroids in patients. Others are attributing it to overuse of zinc in patients as well, while some are saying that it could be because of unsterilized medical equipment, especially the one that's being used to administer medical oxygen in patients. But of course, more data is awaited until clinicians can point their finger at what the real cause of the disease is. At the same time, the federal government has directed all medical facilities to use steroids judiciously, escape, but several doctors that I've been speaking to say that with the second wave of COVID-19, that's not always possible when people come in with severe lung infections. So at the same time, the government is saying that there's no reason to panic at the moment, and it has advised all states to declare the infection an epidemic, but they are saying that more data will be available soon, and hopefully clinicians will be able to find a way out of this soon.
Officials with Singapore's Transport, Foreign Affairs and Manpower Ministry say the vast majority of arrivals to the city-state from India are returning citizens and permanent residents. Their joint statement came in response to media queries about why planes are still arriving from India despite flights being suspended. All these planes are chartered by the Indian government, but those who need to return to Singapore are also allowed on board because these are the only available passenger flights into the city-state from India. The flights operate out of Terminal 1 at Changi Airport. There are about 25 arrivals from India every day and some 180 departing passengers on flights back to India. All those entering Singapore have to take 2 COVID-19 tests at the airport and are escorted to a stay-home notice facility where they have to stay for 21 days. A mass swab tests are being carried out at another Housing Development Board block in Singapore after COVID-19 cases were found there. It's the second such operation after one at a block in the northeastern residential town of Hougang. All residents at Block 559 Pasir Ris in the east of Singapore are being tested after 4 cases were found to be living there. One of them is the first case identified in the Changi Airport cluster. Tan Si-hui with this report.
32-year-old Jin Zhe is a resident of the affected block. He was out grocery shopping at around 8 in the evening on Saturday and came home to this, a letter informing him that he's required to undergo a mandatory swab test at a nearby swabbing center. He had also received a text.
Kind of worried actually, but there's no mention about who are the infected ones in our block, so we are just trying to take precautionary measures.
The 4 COVID-19 cases had been reported earlier. One of them is an 88-year-old man who is a cleaner at Changi Airport Terminal 3. The other 3 are from another household. The Health Ministry says it's adopting the same cautious approach as Block 506 in Hougang by conducting the PCR test. Those who had visited the Pasir Ris block between May 2nd and 18 are also advised to take the swab test. The MP for the area says it's for their assurance and peace of mind.
I explained to the residents that they are not on quarantine or on stay-home notice. It is also prudent for them to try and exercise some restraint, to try and stay home as much as possible, to work from home. And of course, if they have to go out for essential errands, they will have to continue to get their food and do the important things they have to do.
I'm heading inside the swabbing center as I have an appointment after visiting White Sands Mall about 2 weeks ago. So let's have a look at operations inside. 5 different groups of people, from airline crew to those from the construction and marine sector, were also waiting to be tested, but they were clearly segregated.
For Block 509, it's much more special, so I just came in immediately. There wasn't any queue, so I just come in. It's quite a smooth process, so it's done within 5 minutes, even I have no appointment or anything.
More than half of the 240 residents have been tested. They're told results will be out within the next 24 to 48 hours. The rest will have to get tested by Monday.
Singapore's Health Minister Ong Ye Kung says the public should feel safer with such testing operations, including those at public housing blocks. He adds that testing is effective in preventing further spread of COVID-19 and that more will be done in the future. Mr. Ong notes that the coronavirus situation is not quite bad in Singapore and that the number of cases has stayed mostly the same since the 16th of May, based on the 3-day moving average. He says vaccines are effective at reducing the spread. So far, 78 cases are vaccinated. That's compared to 300 who are not. And you can get the latest on the COVID-19 situation here in Singapore and elsewhere via our digital arm, CNA.Asia, and the CNA mobile app. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko is being accused of state terrorism and hijacking. That's after one of his government's fighter jets forced a commercial plane, a Ryanair flight, to divert from its flight path so that an exiled opposition journalist on board could be arrested. European Union leaders will discuss possible sanctions at their summit in Brussels today, amidst outcry across the continent. The Ryanair flight was en route from Athens to Lithuania when a Belarusian fighter directed it to land in Minsk on the pretense of a bomb on board. Once on the ground, authorities arrested activist Roman Protasevich, who is accused of provoking riots last year against